Welcome to our new series, the 200 Movie Challenge. Our goal this year is to watch 200 movies that we haven't seen yet. If you want to listen to the full podcast where this clip is from, the link will be in the description. Now enjoy today's movie.
But Soto, I found an interesting movie.
No.
Let me tell you something, Soto. This has a very interesting concept, one that we're sold on. I saw. Now, the name might deter people if you do not know, but I saw a 2014 film. It's a horror comedy, which we've seen a lot of these, and they can be hit or miss, called Cooties. Now, this movie stars Elijah Wood. It also stars Rainn Wilson from The Office. Now, let me tell you the quick synopsis before I get into it, and why I chose this. All right. Elementary school teachers come under attack from children who have been turned into vicious monsters by contaminated chicken nuggets.
Okay, I see now.
So, first of all, it is a kind of a zombie, but those quick zombies, like, again, I go back to 28 days, 28 weeks later. But to me, I'm like, wait, children are turning into zombies? And they're fucking killing them in horrific ways. I'm in. I know this sounds sadistic,
but a Chad genre right there. That's for sure.
I'm just like, this is hilarious. And I love Elijah Wood. I know it can be hit or miss outside of Lord of the Rings, but I'm just like, okay. At first, I thought, because when I first saw this, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be like cheesy. Because no, these kids are tearing apart these teachers, ripping them, eating them, and it's just fucking hilarious to me. So that's why I chose it, because I'm just reading this. I'm like, this could be, this is dumb, but this could be gold. So that was my idea. So yes, Elijah Wood plays a substitute teacher. He's kind of come back from home from New York City. Though he doesn't tell the other teachers he wants to be a writer, but he's kind of failed at writing. So he's living with his mom, trying to rewrite his book, which his mom basically shits on in a way. He's like, oh, did you read it? And he's like, what did you think about it? And she's like, oh, I loved it. He's like, listen, I need constructive criticism, please. I'm not going to be. She's like, okay, well, I really felt that the two main characters, the love interests, just weren't likable characters. And she shits on the whole thing. Like, the story didn't really go anywhere. And then she, obviously, like a mom does. But you know what? I read it and I really love it. So he even kind of admits afterwards he's a terrible writer. But yeah, so he's trying to make some money, and they call him up. And to substitute teach an English class. So that's how he ends up at the school. He sees his whole someone he had a crush on. Rainn Wilson's almost like the gym coach. But the movie really starts off, they're showing like how chicken nuggets are made. And if anyone's seen how this processed meat gets made, it is fucking disgusting. I love chicken nuggets. We talked about McDonald's earlier.
I try not to.
Don't think about it and don't look at it. But you kind of see that something weird gets into it. And yes, one of the kids ends up eating it, and it takes a couple days. Like almost, so she turns, and that's how this whole thing happens. And all of a sudden they're at recess. And these two bullies are picking on this girl, and she turns and just basically bites into one. And obviously, anyone who's seen zombie movies, they bite another, and they're tearing apart. Like I said, the teachers who are kind of watching it. This one guy. Now you watched Lost. I can't remember his name. He was like Hugo, the guy that won the lottery from Lost. I don't know if you remember that kind of.
Yeah, I remember that guy.
So he's in this.
Hurley?
Yes, thank you. Hurley,
yes.
He's got a very small role, but he's kind of like the crossing guard, and so he's on break, and he goes to his van. Like you can tell, all of a sudden he's just taking all these mushrooms, and he's just like, the kids will be out in a little while.
Oh God!
So hold on, I got to read this line. So all of a sudden he's seeing this, all these kids attacking, and he calls the principal. He's like, I might be under medication, but I think the kids are eating Mr. Peterson. Just the way he delivers it. And I'm dying laughing. Like he thinks he's tripping balls, but he knows what he's seeing. He's like, is this real, or am I just, so yeah, the few scenes he's in was fucking hilarious. And, So obviously now all the teachers inside are seeing what's happening, and they're like, "What the hell's going on?" Like, do we go out there? They're like, they're fucking eating. Like, what do we do? One teacher goes, is like, "Oh, I don't know what's going on here." I blame the rap music. So there is a lot of bad lines in this too, Soto. So I will say this isn't going to be quality. But yeah, so the kids are basically terrorizing the school. The teachers are trying to find ways to get out because now parents are coming to pick them up. And so Elijah Wood does get bit. He gets scratched and a little bit, but he doesn't turn. And they find it. So what they kind of find out is basically anyone who's gone through puberty does not get affected from this. Why? I don't know. We're just going to call it reason, Soto. They don't fully explain it because there's this young girl who she gets bit too. She's in the bathroom and they're like, oh, maybe this is the reason. And she also got bit, but she's not turning. But the teachers are trying to figure out. They're like, hey, have you gone through your time yet? Has that happened? Like, it is so awkward and so bad. I'm like,
no.
But I'm still laughing at these fucking kills because again, this is a horror comedy. We've watched a few, and just the seeing 4th and 5th graders terrorizing adults, it's fucking hilarious to me. But Soto, I gotta read a couple lines. This is why this movie goes to shit real quick. So this premise is here. This is really, like I said, and I'm laughing and I am enjoying it. I get the absurdity of it. I get the comedy of it. And there is a lot of fucking blood. So it starts off as a very good horror comedy, just for my taste. And like I did, I blame Matt rap music. One guy's kind of just looking at him. They throw like a, breaking the fourth wall. Rainn Wilson's like, oh, we should fight the children. You just want to go sneak back in the office like a little hobbit. Like, okay.
Oh God.
But here it is, Soto. I'm going to read you a line that's going to basically now just tell you where the rest of this movie goes and why I checked out. So Rainn Wilson, I think what's this Rainn Wilson? I can't remember. I had to write down this line. Basically, you know how it is. Like all of a sudden, someone gets they got the hordes, and you think they're dead, and they pop up later. They somehow survive. Again, reasons. This is how. Soto. You know how I beat the terrorist after 9/11? Through a positive attitude. Soto, that was a line in this movie. Comparing zombie kids to terrorists at 9/11. And why? I have no idea. I'm like, what the fuck was the point? It was very random. And Soto, I've said this a few times. I did. I kind of checked out because it kind of got old. It was the same joke over and over again. And when that happens, you're like, all right, I'm done.
The old premise that got old.
Yes, because we've seen a lot of zombie movies, and this is cliche. It's basically they're to the point like, let's just get out of the school area. There's just nothing they can do. Like parents are picking up their kids, and they're getting eaten. So they, it's one of those things, and they realize this is happening not just at the school, all around town. Because this one place that makes that processed chicken nuggets, obviously a few things got out. So that's where, like Dawn of the Dead, they're like, we just need to leave, get to the next town, figure it out, which they do, and that's when they realize like everything is, a dystopia. So yeah, no, Soto, this got bored. I got bored.
Yikes.
So no, it started off, I was laughing. I was like, again, this was a good amount of blood. This wasn't like a scene of a movie where they don't show the blood because of kids and stuff like that. They go all in of ripping off arms, peeling off faces. You're like, oh shit. So like the first third, you're in this. Yeah, and you're laughing. Yes, you get the absurdity of it, but everything else after this is just like, I honestly, I hate to say it, I was checked out. I was, but I did enjoy the first third, and it was one of those movies like, yeah, there could be a sequel, but no,
first third.
Yeah, first third. Check out the first third. Check out as the kid, basically when the kids turn, and before the first plan, I guess, when you're just seeing the kills on the recess and the deaths, it's fucking hilarious because you do not expect like a third or fourth grader, and I'm being serious, rip off an adult's arm or rip off like another kid's face. They don't hold that back, and I can respect that. I'm like, yeah, you know what? Go in. You just go all in. It's okay. It's a movie, and I was okay with it. but the gag got old quick. It did. And they didn't go anywhere with the story. It was just a matter of survival, which we've seen in countless zombie movies. And so it's basically nothing new. And again, Rainn Wilson, funny as shit. Like I said, funny as shit. Elijah Wood, great in his role. But nothing else was too memorable. I mean, they even have the janitor who turns into a kung fu master.
Oh no!
Yeah,
oh, dear.
you know what?
Oh, dear.
And then that he was just a part. Yeah, I mean, I'm just like no. So yeah, if I see the first, some part of the first third on a TikTok or a short, I'm gonna watch it and I'm gonna laugh my ass off. We talked about that. I'm not going to watch this again. I enjoy parts of this a lot more than, some of the movies I've seen on this list. But overall, yeah, I'm not going to go recommending this much to people. But like you kind of mentioned, if I was drinking and this is on and it was the beginning, I would watch it again. I would definitely watch it again. Mm-hmm. I would go about my business probably a third of the way in. But like I said, I wasn't disappointed. It hit its mark. I laughed. But after that, I was definitely done. So
when the credits hit, how did you feel? Like when you saw the credits.
Glad it was over. So I just because I was just like, okay,
wow. It should go on a DVD right there. Glad it was over, Chad.
Because here's the thing. Again, they go. We've seen this. Like I compared it to Dawn of the Dead. Same thing. I know Dawn of the Dead's a little bit darker, more adult, but they're in the mall. They get out. They go to the next town. What do they see? The town's just like where they came from. So it's like, what the fuck do you do next? So again, it had that similar ending. It's just a matter of none of these characters
Cooties.
grew. The love stories didn't really go anywhere. And like I said, the kills after again, because they're kids and it's fucking hilarious. After a while, just, because again, if you hit puberty, you might die because you're going to bleed out, but you're not going to turn, and they never fully explain why. They're just like, we don't know why. It's just what we're saying and we're going to do that. So yeah, no, I was glad it was over. When I tell you, I was kind of scrolling through TikTok as I was watching this. Yeah, that was it. Now again, this isn't in my bottom 10, but it is closer to the bottom. Because again, I enjoyed the first third of it. There was enjoyable parts to it, and you can't, that makes a okay start. I'm kind of looking as we were talking. So, all right. So my thoughts on this right now. This is literally going to go right above Beetlejuice. 53 right underneath Smiley Face. I think that's a good spot. Again, because I was still very disappointed. I did enjoy some parts of Beetlejuice. The disappointment hit me more than it hit me in Cooties. I think they just went nowhere. They had this, like you said, a great premise. They hit it out of the park in the beginning. If that's your style, not everyone's into horror comedies, and I completely understand. I know earlier this project I saw was the Tucker and Dale versus Evil. That for that style definitely hit it out of the park because they had a premise and it was hilarious and it changed up and you're like, what? I laughed at that throughout. Whereas this, like I said, I did laugh the first third. It got old. So right now, I feel that feels like a good spot for me because I did enjoy. I'm looking at the movies above it. I enjoyed them more. I probably would rather see Cooties than Beetlejuice. I'm gonna stick with that. I'm 53. That's kind of where I'm sticking with that right
53.
now. 53.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, again, because I enjoyed some parts of it. It's not like going to go towards the bottom because if it just missed the mark from the beginning, I can see like Till Death, which I just talked about. Yeah, I could go lower, but again, I enjoyed parts of the movie, and that makes it better than when I think the whole movie's shit. So I'm there. I think it definitely could have been better, but Cooties. I never thought I would.
Cooties. Starring Elijah Wood.
How about contaminated chicken nuggets? Mix that with the Founder movie, Soto. The McDonald's.
I know. Thank you, McDonald's, for that.